Hey, this is Tandem Elephant, and this is my commentary of Top 10 Most Disturbing Moments in Child Media, one of my most popular videos. I think out of all of them, this is the one that took the most time to make, except for maybe the one about the year-end number ones. But I think that this one was probably the one that took the longest, took the most clips, the most editing, and it was actually took a long time to do, especially because I had the worst microphone ever. It was attached to a headset. It was so sensitive. It was really small, and I had to do everything possible to make sure that there was not like air blasts for like every 2 seconds. Oh my gosh, this one. It's weird. I'm probably not the right person to make a list like this since I seriously cannot remember anything from the media that traumatized me when I was a kid. The only stuff that actually disturbed me from kid stuff is the stuff that I saw later. But a lot of stuff I can acknowledge is very disturbing. But however, there's stuff like this, for example. If I didn't take into account the fact that people are very disturbed by Majora's incarnation, I wouldn't have put it there, because honestly, it didn't disturb me that much. It just seemed unnecessarily strange. The one that actually did disturb me is Zant. If it were up to me and I actually wanted to just do it my personal list instead of for the masses, I definitely would have just put Zant here. But for some reason, people aren't that disturbed by Zant for some reason, which is strange because it is just completely removed from any sort of reality. Oh my gosh, I had the worst thing ever. There was this really dumb thing where the video would literally freeze at the beginning of each edit. So I had to make the clips very short so that they would just go by really quick. I like Twilight Princess. It was one of the darker ones. And I do like Zant as well. Though he's really messed up.
The Heffalumps and Woozle's Nightmare from Winnie the Pooh and the Blustery Day. This is in many ways very
Again,
the Pink Elephant,
this just seems like they just took something and decided, hey, we're Disney, let's put something in disturbing.
There's also the fact that it's better animation and really does make some really disturbing images.
I've just always been wondering, why did he pick elephants and weasels as the bad animals? I don't really get this one.
I never really got that.
Yeah, the Honey Pot Quartet.
Bears?
As for this little thing, I was planning on doing an evil laugh, but I don't think I would ever be able to pull that off right with the microphone I had, so I just decided to do that little weird thing I did. Oh, poor little elephant.
This is Halloween.
This is one of the few ones I didn't actually see. I've never seen this The Nightmare Before Christmas in entirety, but I'm pretty sure that people would be saying, why didn't you include something from Tim Burton on this? I have seen it. While it was actually very strange, I thought it was more entertaining than it was disturbing, but there was some disturbing stuff. I think the worst part was the one thing with the clown. I wasn't really one of those kids who thought they had monsters under the bed or in the closet. I was mainly just afraid of walking home at night, which is kind of why I was so shocked by the shadow of the moon thing.
Demons of night, like that spooky wind and the darkness of the moon.
I'm just not really a fan of Tim Burton as a whole, but I do admit that he can be very creative with how messed up he is.
Pumpkins scary.
Yes. I had to be quiet or else that little pow thing would have been like every 2 seconds. This was, I don't think I can even emphasize how horrible the microphone was. I was introduced to this one in the Nostalgic Mind apps from the Nostalgia Critic.
It's just so chaotic and so threatening that it's really hard. If you haven't seen it, see it. This Halloween is one of the scariest and greatest moments of nostalgia.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Maybe I will in the future. It's not really high on my priorities. The death of the firstborns. You know, some people are saying that I
Wow.
shouldn't be scared of this because it actually did happen. It was documented to have happened. Like, whether you believe in God or not, it was documented that the firstborn sons of people without lambs in the door did die. And people say that because it did happen, I shouldn't be frightened of it. But if anything, that just makes it even worse.
Third-party members get brutally murdered.
I mean, that's just something that it's hard to even think about. The fact that these people just died. Yeah, again, I'm so happy God is nice most of the time. Pink elephants. Yeah, Judge Doom just doesn't do it for me. This is just one of those things where I knew I would just be like gang raped with why didn't you put Judge Doom on the list if I didn't. Who Framed Roger Rabbit does not scare me. I saw it when it was 8. I didn't think it was scary at all. I thought it was really creative. Maybe there was something wrong with me. Everyone else is so traumatized with this scene. I just thought it was, that's gross. Yeah. The thing about I use Windows Live Movie Maker, and what they cannot let you do is make audio louder. That's why so much of this list seems very, very quiet. Apparently, there's something in the comments saying that he played a lot of faceless villains, like whoever killed Bambi's mom. That's actually kind of creative.
I'm not really sure why.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit? I do think it's a really good movie. Yeah, with the weird anvil thing. When I saw this for the first time, I was like, what? Once again, this is kind of the stuff where, like, I had to do the more publicly scary stuff, because I was personally more disturbed by Violet Beauregard being turned into a blueberry. That's probably just because the effects were so horrible. But, yeah, the Hell Tunnel is very, very, very bad. Okay, while we're doing this, I just want to say, I don't think I can emphasize how dark Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated is. This is one of those shows where I could just do a top 10 on scariest moments, scariest villains. This is a dark show, and it is really good, but I don't think this should be on Cartoon Network. There's some really, really, really dark stuff. They have, like, people who actually try to murder them. Like, not capture them, not scare them, actually murder them. And this is just very dark. And they are very good with drama. They're good with writing. They're good with animation. And they are very good with horror. And the thing about The Freak is that I'm not really sure what made this moment so scary. It's like The Freak, objectively, actually kind of looks silly, but the way it's shot, the way it's edited, and the way his voice is with that eerie, poetic dialogue just hits it right home. Like, this is the stuff that I was, like, thinking about, like, for, like, 3 days after I saw it. It was probably a toss-up between this and the reveal of Danny Darrow, but I had to go with this one since it was just so powerful in such a short amount of time. Like, I just had to show this clip and it would completely get across how scary this moment was better than I could in a million years. And when you find out who the identity of the Freak is, that kind of makes it even worse. One of my first comments is that he looks like Gamzee. I have no clue who Gamzee is, and honestly, I really don't want to. If it has anything to do with anime, I really don't want to even think about it. I am not an anime fan at all. Alright, this is also another one that I haven't seen myself, but I looked it up online, and it was just so awful in every conceivable way that I had to just put it on there anyway. And I learned how to spell paraphernalia, because I did not know how to spell it at all. This is just stuff that people make to scare little children.
This is just too horrifying.
I probably shouldn't have made the joke about sodomizing a statue of Jesus Christ. I think that went a little bit too far.
I really can't understand what the singers are saying.
I still have no clue what they're saying. I have no clue. There are some things like you will never be able to figure out what they're saying. It's like, I do enjoy the Grinch animated short. I've never actually seen the live action. I do not want to. I haven't seen this, but it's like,
If only I were so lucky.
I just can't believe he walks away from that like nothing happened.
Where do I even start with this one?
To tell you the truth, I don't actually remember what my first reaction was when seeing Mimi transform. It might have been my older brother playing it and just me watching. It might have been me playing it. I'm not sure, but I don't remember when it was or what my reaction was. But looking back on it, that is just something that should never be in a Mario game. It's like there's so many horrible implications to Mimi, as well as just so awful. Like, girl snapping her neck straight out of The Exorcist. And then there's also the surreal chase scene that comes afterwards.
Whoever thought this was a good idea to be put in a Mario game really needs some psychiatric help. Do I have to show you that again? What is wrong with you game developers?
Yeah. Exorcist, anyone?
This one, it was obligatory. If I didn't put in there, people would say, "Yo, it reminds me of Exorcist." I had to cut it out right after because she curses right next to it. I haven't seen Exorcist. I hear it's really scary. I've read the book though. Book very complicated. That might be another review, like a really quick one.
This is one of those things when you look back on it, you realize how dark and messed up that show really was. Back when I was, there was stuff that kind of disturbed me, but as a teenager, when I look back on it, there is some stuff in here that should never be marketed to kids. Courage the Cowardly Dog is a very good show, but it is not something you should be showing your children. Yeah, there's so many utterly bizarre moments in this show. There was the Fantasy Flan. There was the Mona Lisa painting thing. And there was the Demon of Hollywood. There was just so much messed up and horrifying about this show. But I think the worst one is right up there with these three. And then Freaky Fred. This is like an art house film. It is like art in how twisted it is. This is like insane asylum stuff, which kind of makes sense since he's insane. Fred's design is just incredible. The way they were able to just pull off creepy barber so well. Like, I think the right word for it is fetish. He is turned on by seeing bald heads. And that music is... Yeah, editing the recording room is a little echoey, isn't it? Needed space. I also like the voice acting for Freaky Fred. It went over the line. This just went over the line. This was, if there was to be one thing that traumatized me as a child, it would be this. This is straight out of hell. This one episode right here. This is marketed to kids. Not only was this made, it was greenlighted. It was released. It was published to children. Courage the Cowardly Dog was a great show, but this episode, this proved how scary this show could be. However, there was this one joke that I actually did highlight. The, plant stuff joke. That was really funny. I was like reading that, I was like, plant stuff. That's funny. Yeah, amateur arrows. This is how you make arrows with captions. Again, no. Some of the other episodes were disturbing, but this one just is Courage the Cowardly Dog as a horror in a nutshell. And Courage the Cowardly Dog is just is a good show, but not for kids.
Cowardly Dog will always be the most disturbing moment in all of child media.
Okay.